ਰਾਸਾਂ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਇੰਨਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਲੰਘ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਨਾਮਦਾਨ ਦੀ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਹੋਈ ਨੂੰ, ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਜੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਿਆ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਤੱਕ
ਉਹ
ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਕਾਕਾ, ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਤੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੋੜਨਾ, ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਮਾਲਿਕ ਨੇ ਜੋੜਨਾ ਹੈ।
ਜੀ
ਆਪਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਬੇਟਾ? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਕਰੋ ਔਰ ਪਰਖਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਿਆ ਕਰੋ ਬੇਟਾ। ਆਪਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਦੇ ਲਾਇਕ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਸੰਭਾਲ ਸਕੀਏ।
ਜੀ
ਜਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਉਹ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾ ਦੇਊਗਾ, ਅਸੀਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੇ ਕਾਬਿਲ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਾਂਗੇ।
ਪਰ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਉਹ ਹੁਣ ਬਾਂਹ ਫੜ ਲਓ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਜੋੜ ਸਕਾਂ।
ਮੈਂ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਨਾ, ਆਪਾਂ ਬਰਤਨ ਸਾਫ਼ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਹੈ। ਗੰਦੇ ਬਰਤਨ 'ਚ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਪਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ?
ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ।
ਜੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਬਰਤਨ ਸਾਫ਼ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨੇ ਕਸਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਛੱਡਣੀ ਬੇਟਾ।
ਜੀ।
ਦੰਦੇ ਦੇ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਥੱਕ ਪਾਏ, ਜੁਗਾਂ ਜੁਗੰਤਰ ਖਾਈ ਖਾਏ। ਜਦੋਂ ਤੋਂ ਸ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਉਦੋਂ ਤੋਂ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਆਇਆ।
ਜੀ
ਅਸੀਂ ਸੰਭਾਲਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਬਣੀਏ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਦਰ ਤਾਂ ਕਰੀਏ ਬੇਟਾ।
ਜੀ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ। ਰਾਸਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ
Swami Babaji, is there any concept of contentment in this human life?
That's what we are seeking, beta. The basic idea is seeking contentment. The only problem is that we are going the wrong way in seeking that. Sometimes some people think that they will get it by money, by positions, by relationships. Actually, we are seeking peace of mind and happiness now. If you are happy and there's peace of mind, then you are contented. चिंता मिटी चाहत गई मनुआ बेपरवाह, जिसको कछु ना चाहिए वो ही शहंशाह.
How do we achieve that state, Babaji? I mean, it's a long way still.
By not being beggars. We are always asking, always wanting, always asking. Now, on one side, we say the Lord has created a destiny. Okay, has He made a mistake? Did He forget to give you something which you feel He should have given you? So then shouldn't we sort of be happy with what He's given us? So if you are happy, you appreciate, automatically there'll be contentment. If we are grateful for everything that He does, where does the problem come in? We have so many desires, beta. So many desires. This mind has made it's become like a bottomless well. The more you give it, the more it wants. At some stage, we have to say enough. Okay? I'm going to appreciate what He's given me. And if we just appreciate what He's given us, you'll never feel the need for anything. Because He's given us so much. In a family, if the child is always crying, always desiring, always wanting, versus a child who's happy with what you give him, it's not you're going to give each one more or less. But the one who appreciates, you give him a head. One who doesn't appreciate, you hold back that he may not destroy what he's getting.
So it's like if we, every morning, if we are grateful for what you have given us, so that's a good start.
In everything, every aspect of life, life should be presented in a manner where we show our gratefulness in everything that happens. Shukar hai, shukar hai.
Babaji, another question is, does astrology play any role in our lives?
But I won't dismiss anything. It's a very fine science. So I won't dismiss any of these things. I won't say this is there and this is not there. Everything has its particular place. But it is such a fine science. It's such a fine science. The million of a second also, if it goes like this, everything changes. So there are very few people who can actually, give that kind of interpretation of that better. They just generalize. And when you start generalizing on certain things, then it really doesn't make sense.
Radha Swami Babaji, to what extent, as a parent, I'm responsible if my very younger kid, eats any cakes that contains egg or any non-vegetarian food?
No, beta. I mean, basically, you can just explain to the children. You can't live their life for them. Okay? So, we just try and create the right foundation for them.
Yeah.
We try to bring them up in a happy and positive atmosphere. But to say that you can take the action for them, you can't. So he must understand. If he understands, he will live it. But if you are going to force him to do it, till you are around, he will listen. Afterwards, he will react.
No, no, I mean, the kid is like 2 years, 3 years, where he goes to nursery and he doesn't really understand this is
But
non-vegetarian.
you tell the nursery in charge that I'm a vegetarian, please don't feed him.
And to what extent any birthdays of saints and festivals have influence or
Arey, yaar, what
significance in
influence?
the...
If you don't live their teachings and I have fireworks on the saint's birthday, it's meaningless. It's one big exercise in futility.
Yeah.
If you really believe in somebody, live his teachings.
Oh.
We don't have to celebrate the physical. We have to celebrate what they stood for. I mean, it's like the child saying, I love you, but doesn't listen to you. You'll say, what sort of love is this? Live their teachings. That's more important. What did they stand for? Live that. That is the important thing. Every day should be a birthday. Every day should be a happy day. Why on a particular day? Which means the other days you should be sad? Then why do you need a reason to give your child a gift? You should give him a gift whenever you feel like. Why only on a particular day?
Yeah.
This is all commercialization, you know. I'm surprised whether there are any days left. This is Father's Day. This is Mother's Day. This is this day. They want you to buy cards. They want you to, go around celebrating because commercialization.
Radha Swamiji, Babaji, thank you for this opportunity to ask you a question. My question is, God made man top of the creation. When we leave this body, will we lose our identity and our minds and become ball of energy?
Beta, today, because we are limited, we see ourselves by means of the body. But body is not the reality. Reality is the soul. Body is just a covering. Now, if I wear good clothes, doesn't mean I'm rich. I wear torn clothes, doesn't mean I'm poor. That's just a covering. The reality is something different. So similarly, this body is just a covering. So once we die, dust to dust. Either it's consigned to the grave or to the fire, body finishes. Today, your identity is enjoined with the body. In the spiritual realm, you have to access the soul. That is your reality, not the body. All these things will be left behind. So that is why we say self-realization. Self-realization means, who am I? Am I the body? Am I just the mind? What am I? That's what we are trying to understand. Western mystics said, I think, therefore I am. Where does the thinking come from? The mind. So is my identity based on the mind? Mind is something which gets very easily influenced. And those influences are good and bad. But the soul is not good and bad, beta. Soul is part and particle of the Lord. It's like one sun and we are rays of light of that sun.
So is that what we're going to become if we get a good person?
At a lower level of consciousness, we see ourselves as distinct. But as you take the consciousness upward, comes the realization there is only one. This ray of light is just a projection. The sun can exist without that ray, but can the ray exist without the sun? We are drops of that ocean. And that's what we need to recognize. Sojan nirmal, jin aap pachhata. You have to recognize who you are.
So our soul will be happy, not in here, but in heaven?
Definitely.
Thus,
Today the
we will not miss.
soul is subservient to the mind. Then you have the covering of the body on top of it. Then you will be free. Once you shake off the shackles of the mind and the body, then you are free. That's what we are seeking, freedom.
ठीक है, राधा।
Swamiji. Babaji, you are the master architect to help us to pay off our karmic debt. How can,
I'm the master architect.
for us, you are everything. How can we align our actions, plans, and thoughts to pay off our karma? How can we do Tirapana Meetha Lage?
Better reflect it in whatever you do in life. If we reflect that goal, then we will be walking towards that. But the problem is we don't. That's why life has become a contradiction. We say one thing and we do another thing. If I say I'm hungry, then whatever steps I take should take me towards the food. But if they're taking me away from the food, then hunger is only a concept for me. So I have to synchronize my thoughts with my actions. Today, are my thoughts synchronized with my actions? I think a lot of things. I should be good, I should be humble, I should do this, I should do that. But when it comes to action, I do something totally contrary. That is why there's confusion.
Babaji, Dya Karo, please pull me.
Jyotis pave nanka sai galchanki.
Thank you, Babaji.
Brahmaji, in quest for light, Zur Maharaji says, if you can take what comes to you through him, then whatever it is becomes divine in itself. Shame becomes honor, bitterness becomes sweet, and gross darkness becomes clear light. Would you please explain in simple terms what this means?
It means if you surrender, then it is his responsibility. It's like a business. The business is not doing well, it has accumulated losses. Somebody else comes who's cash rich, it takes over that business. Then it becomes their responsibility now. But if the businessman refuses to sell, then he has to face the banks and he has to face everybody. So similarly in life, if we surrender to him, then he takes our responsibility. But if we are still caught up in my and mine, then we have to bear the burden.
And referring to the first part, if you can take what comes to you through him.
Appreciation. Appreciate what he gives you. We don't appreciate.
So he gives us everything, pain and pleasure, happiness, sorrows, and
We say he gives it to us, but that is all dependent upon our karmas. Actually, we say the Lord has created our destiny, but we've created our own destiny. Karma jo karega, tu wohi phir bhogna bharna. Your destiny is the sum total of your karmas. So you have sown the seed of pain and happiness yourself. What is karma? Action, reaction, consequence. So whatever action you took, there was a reaction, and there's the consequence which you have to go through. He's the master programmer. He's made a program, and in that programming, action, reaction. Whatever action you take, there's the reaction.
And if someone hurts us without a reason and causes a financial loss, does mean that he's giving us that result as well?
Beta, to the extent we can save ourselves, we should save ourselves. He's given us vivek, sense of discrimination. We should use it to protect ourselves. Beyond a certain point, it's not in our hands. Don't be obsessive. Make an effort, then leave it up to his will.
Okay. I don't have any desire or any wish at all. It's only a request, a benti, aapne charna ch benti hai. Give me your love and grace. Be with me all the time.
Never say never. Never say never. Everything in life stems from a desire. You had a question, that's why you came here. There was a desire to have that question answered. That's a desire. Even the desire for a Lord is a desire.
A desire for worldly things, I don't have any. Because of your grace.
Nahin beta, let's work towards that. Never say never. So let's not even, we are too limited to make such, statements. So never make a statement because we will never be able to live up to it better. So we are trying to get rid of our desires. We are trying, actually what Krishna tells Arjun in the battle of Mahabharata is Nishkam karma, where you take an action for the action itself rather than for the result. So that's what we have to work to.
And please give me the strength to remain in your will and be with me all the time. That's
Huzur has said, whatever takes us towards God is good, whatever takes us away from is bad. Can you please expand on this? Is it as simple as this with our life's decisions?
Because that is the general thumb rule, because nothing can stand still. Because we are in the ambit of time, and time never stands still, better. So you'll either be going forward or you'll be going backward. So if I'm going, in whatever I do in life, if I'm going to go away from my direction, how do I achieve my goal better? So in every action of ours, every thought of ours, we must reflect that goal. We must work towards that objective. We have a long journey. Like we say, Confucius said that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. So every step that you take, every penny makes a pound. Every little thing matters. So the sum total in the day, every day we should reflect a little that what have I reflected today? Have I gone towards my objective? Have I just been working at cross purposes?
And Rakh diya man tere charanon mein, that unwavering faith and belief and surrender that God is guiding us through our life is sometimes so difficult to actually practice
It's
and
something
believe.
better. I agree with you. I mean, to say that I have faith, real faith means better that he points to the sun and says, what a beautiful moon, and without a thought you say, what a beautiful moon. But most of us would say, oh, he's gone crazy. What is he talking about? So, step by step, better, as the relationship is created, as a bonding takes place, then slowly we will come to that stage. Faith doesn't come just by listening to satsang, reading your scriptures or all that. Faith will come from experience better. Knowledge helps you to conceptualize. Those concepts have to be put into practice for you to realize the difference between the truth and illusion. And once you start experiencing the truth, that gives you the understanding, then you get faith.
Even with our practical kind of experiences as well as with our spiritual.
Seeing is believing.
Brother Swami Babaji. Babaji, I'm struggling to achieve peace of mind with meditation at the end of the day. When I've been through the day, I've talked to patients all day. We're talking about the current situation and
You're a doctor?
chiropractor.
A chiropractor. Then why speaking with patients all the day?
We have to converse and build almost a relationship, and just talking daily talk is about stress and anxiety. What's next? It's
Hey,
just,
beta, what's the stress? Stress is what you take. You can as easily, somebody came to Buddha and started abusing him. So Buddha asked him a very simple question. He said, look man, if you've come with a present and I don't accept it, what happens? He said, it stays with me. That's it. You take it on. You can talk to them. We talk to 110 people during the day, but you don't necessarily take everybody's stress. Beta, you're not doing justice to your work if you start taking the stress. If the doctor gets affected by every patient he treats, he's unfit to be a doctor. He has to be sensitive to their needs, but not so sensitive that he gets affected by what they are saying. Then he will never be able to treat them better. If he wants to do justice, if you want to do justice to your profession, listen to them, stand back. Only then, with an unbiased mind, can you be able to treat them.
I guess my question is, when I try to switch off at the end of the day and sit, it's almost become, everything gets worse. I feel even more stressed to sit in meditation.
But you owe it to yourself to switch off. If you don't switch off, suppose you work the car 24 hours of the day, what is going to happen? It's going to break down. But we are only human beings. Here, that's a machinery. So, but if you don't switch off, don't take your problems with you. Leave them in your office. Take up a hobby, listen to music, do something that de-stresses you. Keep that balance in life.
Hi, Babaji. Thank you for giving me the courage to come and speak to you. My question is, we always have expectations from others that we need a good job, we have to get good grades, we need to get married. And I think marriage right now is probably the main topic for me. I know that we can never always live up to those expectations and never please everyone, but how do we not let it take a toll on our mental health? Because you constantly start overthinking things.
Peter, can you fulfill anybody's expectation of you?
No.
Then how do you expect them to fulfill your expectations, Peter? Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't.
Mm-hmm.
We're all a few people sitting here. If everybody's expectations are fulfilled, that'd be chaos. Some people will say, we want to stay here. Some people say, no, we have to go back. Some people say, we should have dinner and go. Some people say, no, we'll get late. It doesn't work like that. Can it work like that?
No.
So, beta, we have to learn to accept. In a limited manner, yes, we can make certain choices, but beyond that, it's not in our hands. Effort is in our hands. The result is not in our hands. Expectations we'll have. I have expectations of you, that you guys will do meditation. Even that's an expectation.
My question is, I'm someone that's very sensitive, very emotional. And I've always heard from you that one must lead a detached life. Attachment isn't good.
Beta, you can't practice detachment, beta.
Okay.
It's not in your hands.
Okay.
Okay. Now, definitely in life, as we go forward, there are people we will like, people we will dislike, and lots of things will take place, beta. Now, in a limited framework, we are functioning in a very limited framework. But through the meditative process, when we are opening up our horizons and we are seeing things, from a different point of view, in totality, you start understanding these relationships, the illusory nature, what is truth. And that helps you to protect yourself, to strengthen yourself. But to say that, okay, I've come to satsang and I should not be attached, and from today on I'm not going to love my parents, I'm not going to love. How can you function without love?
Yeah.
But there has to be a limit to everything. No? It's only when you go to extremes, then reactions take place.
Yeah.
Let's say the mother loves her child so much, she won't let him go out of her eye and beyond the reach of her eyes. What's going to happen? At some stage, the child is going to react. He'll say, I want my space, I want to go and play.
Yeah.
So within some certain parameters, everything is going to be positive and nice. But in excess, it becomes a burden.
And how do we stay in that parameter?
That's what we are trying to learn, balance. You want to ride a bicycle, you must have a balance. When you eat food, you must have a balance. Child says, I only want to play, I don't want to study. Mother says, there's a time to study, there's a time to play. Balance.
So having this nature of mine, I get affected really quickly, and it takes me a long while to let go. How can I strengthen?
Experience of life, beta. Experience teaches the young to be old and the old to be young. These are not things that anybody can teach you. And this generation is not even willing to learn. I mean, the nearest relationship is to your parents. Are you willing to accept everything your parents say? You are?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a miracle. No, beta. When anybody says something is just a concept for us, beta. Reality is when you experience it for yourself.
Yeah.
So even what I'm saying, you are conceptualizing that because you have some respect, so you shake your head. But that faith isn't there as yet. Let that faith not be tested, beta. Once you've experienced, once you've seen for yourself, you've experienced for yourself. I put something sweet in front of you. I said, this is the sweetest thing in the world. Out of respect for me, you'll shake your heads. But does it remove the doubt in your mind? Is it the sweetest thing or not? Now, if you pick it up, taste it, then you can say for sure fact whether it's the sweetest thing or not. So how did you reach the conclusion? Just because I said so? Or when the actual experience took place?
The experience. Thank you, Babaji.